What's up, you guys? I'm Brandon Andre, and I'm a headshot photographer here in Los Angeles. If you're watching this video, it's because you're in the market for some new headshots. I'm going to share my 5-step headshot guide that will help any actor figure out how to get the best headshots in Los Angeles. Step 1. From actor to business owner. Today, I want you to stop thinking of yourself as only an actor. You are now a business owner. Your product is you, your face, and your ability to become a character and to tell a story. And as a business owner, your objective is to sell your product and profit to be able to make a living. And it just so happens that your business is your passion. That being said, like every business out there, you have to invest in your business. You have to perfect the product. You do this by taking acting classes, workshops, getting coaching, and honing in on your acting skills, or maybe even physically by working out, staying in shape, and eating healthy. After all, if someone buys your product, it has to work really, really well and last a long time, right? Now, once you perfect your product, it's time to get your product out there and for people to know about it. This is what's called marketing. If you're watching this video, it's because that's what stage you're at. You've decided that it's time to be marketed. However, your consumer is not the same as a Walmart consumer. Rather, your consumer is a casting agent, a director, a producer, an agent, or even a manager. You have a niche clientele and it requires a special approach. And in order to get on these people's radar, you need to create an ad that's specific to the standard that they're looking for. This ad is called a headshot. So what is a headshot? Simply, it's just a photo of you. All your clientele needs to be able to determine whether or not they want to hire you for your service for their production is a good headshot of you. That's the purpose of a headshot. This means that how you decide to invest in this part of your business can affect the outcome of how your acting career goes. This is why I encourage actors to make a good judgment call when it comes to taking your acting headshots, and to not be cheap because it could cripple your business. However, even though you want to invest good money into headshots, that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to cost you a fortune either. 2. Saving money. The problem with actors is that they sometimes do the extremes. They either spend way too little on headshots and suffer the consequences, or they spend way more money than they need to. So how much does a good headshot cost? Off the bat, and just to be safe, I would say save at least $500. Now, it doesn't mean that you'll actually spend that much, but that's just a ballpark number if you're looking for just a flat number on what most actors spend on a good quality headshot here in Los Angeles. Obviously, there are a lot of variables like how many looks you need, if you're going to bring on a hair and makeup artist, or if you're going to add retouching. Now, why I think actors spend way too little on headshots is because, well, it can be expensive, especially being an actor in California. Actors here have to pay rent, they probably have a car note, they have to pay for food, and then invest in acting classes and new headshots, all while working a job that's probably minimum wage. Trust me, I understand that when it comes to headshots, your survival instincts will kick in. And you think that because the cheaper one is the one that you can afford, that it will do for now. But what you don't realize is that because you went with a photographer that had no idea what they were doing, you now have images that aren't getting you work and that aren't getting you any bookings. And now a year later, you have to get new headshots taken because the quality of the photographer you hired before just wasn't cutting it. You will end up wasting more money if you approach it that way. Now, why I think actors spend way too much on headshots is because some actors are misguided thinking that the more well-known a photographer is, the more chances they'll get more acting gigs and more jobs. But the reality is that top headshot photographers in Los Angeles all will pretty much give you headshots that will accomplish the exact same goal. In reality, no casting director cares about which photographer took your photo. They don't have the time to be paying attention to stuff like that. They're more concerned on whether or not you're right for the production. And all you really need them to do is to get a gist of who you are by looking at your photo. This is why finding a good photographer will save you time and money. 3. Finding a good photographer. So what qualifies as a good photographer? Easy. They understand lighting. All of the images you see of their actors have really great lighting on them, and it highlights their face and their features. They know how to direct their actors and have them pose in flattering angles. They make clients feel comfortable, which you can judge by reading the reviews. They make actors pop in photos. They understand how to balance colors. They respond back swiftly and have great communication. They display the prices on their website. They have public reviews for you to be able to read, and they provide resources that help actors throughout the process. You're probably thinking, well, Brandon, that sounds a lot like you. Yes, it does, doesn't it? 4. Preparing for your photo shoot. Now, once you realize that I'm the photographer you're going to be going to, you'll want to prepare for your photo shoot. I always encourage and recommend putting makeup on. Males tend to fight me on this, but going into a professional photo shoot without makeup is like going to the beach on a hot, blazing summer day without wearing any sunblock. Yeah, you could do it, but is it really going to be the smart choice? You're going to regret it. Plus, every production has a makeup artist, so might as well get used to it now. In general, hair and makeup should be clean and natural. Sometimes people really be showing up to the sessions with sloppy hair and overdone makeup because they're watching too much Kylie Jenner, or just not great stuff and like really patchy and all over the place. If you're not good at doing natural makeup, then that's when I would suggest hiring a professional hair and makeup artist. But if you're decent, then you'll be fine doing it yourself. As far as clothing goes, you really want to focus on clothes that make you stand out. You don't want to wear anything that's trendy really fashionable or has weird designs and patterns. These tend to be very distracting. I'm talking about weird cuts or ruffles or little design patterns. Those are terrible for headshots. Also, a lot of actors tend to want to wear a lot of oversized clothing, which you totally can if you want to look fat in your photos. If not, I suggest timeless pieces that fit perfectly to your body. Something I like to encourage actors to do is to go on IMDb and look up shows and movies that you want to be in. Then look at the credits for the cast, and when you click on the actor's credit, you'll notice their headshot that's displayed on their profile. Usually the ones that haven't blown up yet have like a legitimate headshot that they're using. These are working actors. You can better gauge what type of clothes to bring after you review all of these different actors and the specific roles they're being sent out for. And it's a smart move to follow because these actors' headshots are getting them credited roles, so why not follow their lead? 5. Using your headshots. After you've taken and received your headshots, now it's time to use them. This is usually the time that when you're signed with an agency, they'll take the images and they'll start sending you out for you to start getting auditions and start booking work. Or if you're representing yourself, you can upload your images on LA Casting, on your social media accounts, and start hustling and getting yourself these auditions and start getting work. But at this point, now you have the content that you need to start marketing your business. Now the next step is for you to have a return of investment for your headshots, which basically means that your headshots are paying themselves off because you're booking work. Now, if you haven't already figured out that I'm the guy that you should go with, then you should really check out my website now at brandonandrephoto.com and book your next session with me. Thanks for watching and happy bookings.